PKN 419. Kyle, what do you have?
So it's rare in the realm of professional football that anything really changes. I should say sports, but we're in football, so we'll get right to it.
Okay.
They're changing the football for the NFL on Thursday night football only. Thursday night football, they roll out the Super Bowl. This thing is longer, easier to grip. It's faster, more aerodynamic, and easier to control. That's the bottom line. Hang on. I'm gonna give you the fucking.
I desperately want this ball. As a guy who throws a spiral like a third of the time,
like a girl. I can't throw a football very well at all. I was never taught to.
Really? I thought for sure I was going to be the only one.
No, if I was in a, I remember we were throwing like that the cornhole thing around with Joe Lozon's family or something like that, and I was like, thank God this is not one of those northeastern football families where they're all like hurling it around like starting QBs or something like.
Dude, yeah, I played catching.
I'd have went and sat down with the girls if that had happened.
So this is only for one game a week.
Yeah, the Thursday night football game, which is it's like.
Oh. I'm sorry. I was going to ask him to show a few seconds of video, but this still image is better than what I had. I thought the difference would be very subtle. Like, if you're a football player, but if you put it in my hands and said which is which, I might not. I thought it was going to be that level of subtle. That is a different football.
Yeah.
That's easier to throw?
My problem is the diameter of the center, the core of it. If I could wrap my hands around it a little better, I think I'd spiral it better.
I only played the catching positions and the blocking positions.
But
I wasn't involved in the throwing part. And I was never very good at it. When I would throw it, rarely would I get the good looking spiral. Usually it'd be the duck where you get some wobble in there. And I
learned to throw a baseball before a football. And I don't think my dad knows how to throw a football, if I'm being honest. So there was never a time. And when I did play football, we were never thinking that I'd be the guy who threw the motherfucker. Yeah. So it was just like, no, I can't throw a football. I also can't do the hurdles. No, never practiced that one either.
I tried that. Come up. Failed. Very embarrassing.
That's crazy. It's really different. And I guess the NFL doesn't have a minor league that it can control entirely. If you gave it football. To college serves as the minor league, but they don't own it. It's not. Is Roger Goodell in charge of it? I don't know. Who runs football right now? Do you know his name?
The NCAA.
You've got the NCAA,
that's college, but I'm going for the NFL.
Oh, Roger Goodell. He's the commissioner.
Oh, I am right. Okay, so Roger Goodell runs the pro league. He doesn't have any control over college, so he can't introduce changes in the minor leagues and see how it works out like other leagues might be able to. I know in the basketball, for example, it's called the G League. It's this developmental league for players that don't make the NBA. They could totally try a different ball or lower hoops or higher hoops or whatever because they own that league and see what impact it has.
There's a huge amount of money tied in this as well. I know we're not going to watch the video, but it's they make it very clear that this is a partnership between Wilson, who makes footballs, and Amazon Prime, who sells you things. Okay, they have brought together their money and expertise to make a silly football only for Thursdays.
I love it.
You're sure this isn't a prank?
I'm 1,000% sure. Okay. I'm 80% sure. Mitty gave it to a minute ago, and he wrote, "Bro, what? They're using a flatter, faster, grippier ball for Thursday night football games. Looks so wild." I haven't had time to proof check this, so if it is a April Fool's, then joke's on me. But it looks cool, and I'm pretty sure that this is real. I never even considered that it might be fake until you said that. So yeah,
I'm looking at the graphics of it. It just looks bizarre. It looks goofy.
I love it. I want to circle back to that. I have to say this.
Am I the one who wants one?
Yeah.
Zach said AAA and AA baseball used robot umpires and a few other things they tried before the majors. I love that. I love the idea of
a little play testing.
Yeah, a little play testing. But and I like the idea of this new football to get back on topic. I just look at that. That was actually what I wanted to show Zach for a second. That is not a small difference. And I'm hearing, hey Woody, we're removing the barrier of entry to football. Barrier to entry of football. We're letting regular people throw the ball.
Because I can throw the Nerf football. I can throw that motherfucker.
A lot of people can throw a Nerf one better than a big one. Yeah. It just gives a little bit. It's a little smaller.
You know what
I can throw, the really small balls you could palm? Put
the fins on that motherfucker.
Say it again, Kyle.
Fins on that motherfucker, Wilson.
That's what it needs.
Jeff Bezos puts. I tell you what, Jeff Bezos. make that thing, put a fucking spike on the end of it. So you can, so if someone like bobbles it just wrong, it impales them. I want to see that. You ever see a guy get hit with the ball because he's not paying attention? I want it to kill him when that happens.
Well, yeah, not a lot of turn in the receiver position.
Well, I mean, yeah, it would be rare.
You got equipment managers running out there after a while. This is ridiculous. Like,
what you hate it,
it's just,
Taylor?
It's so. I mean,
why
I don't
don't
really
you
care
like
either way. It's
why
just,
don't you like it?
Well, one thing I don't like is if they were going to change it. This is so fucking bizarre. It's hard to believe this isn't a prank. Like, if they were going to change it, they should change it wholesale, not one game a week. We change something, because then it's like the receivers and the quarterback are now doing something, different. Like it's not exact. It's not the exact same as they were. Yeah, look, but it's just weird to add it to one game.
First of all, we all get it because we have Amazon Prime, so we'll be able to watch these fun games. The real question is this: how will the game be different?
Are they trying to make it higher scoring?
Because we're not talking about will the score be higher, or do you think the offense will be much better? Is that the end result of this?
If it makes it change the run game at all, maybe
will it change the run game at all? I'm curious. Will they?
I don't know shit about shit, but here are my thoughts. The throwing game gets better. The running game, I feel like it's easier to strip that long ball. Like if I can get one hand on the corner of that thing and like rotate it out of your grip, it's easier on the long ball than the roundish one.
Maybe easier to hold too. How do you kick that motherfucker? Does anything change when you kick it?
I was getting to that. I don't know, right? Like they kick it, it tends to go end over end a lot. They don't kick spirals most of the.
No, of course not.
I'm mixed up. Maybe punting is spirals and kickoff is end over end. I think I'm right about that. Zach says,
as far as I knew, they just kicked that motherfucker.
All right, I'm trying to read this. I am 99% sure this unique ball isn't going to actually be used in an official NFL game. The ramifications of using a vastly different ball for only Thursday night Amazon games is insanely problematic and make a lot of fans and players angry. Then again, this is the NFL we're talking about, so I'll leave a 0.1% chance that maybe Roger Goodell finally lost his mind.
What, you think this is fake?
But he thinks it's fake, but he says it's a quote, but a quote from who? Mitty or like someone in charge?
Mitty already weighed in. It's bizarre. I just watched a video of a guy throwing it. It's way smaller than I guess I saw from the graphics. Like, like you're grabbing a real football. It's a girthy foot. It's a football,
it is. Man's hand.
It looks like you could this littler ball looks like most people's hands could wrap around it. So yeah, you could definitely throw this faster and harder. As this just a layman.
Ball is exclusively sold on Amazon. I didn't pick that up.
Oh, of course.
Well, okay. Maybe it was obvious to you. It wasn't to me.
How much are they?
It's not in this article.
What if my dog would like to play with one? He doesn't play with anything.
Not even the prime ball.
Not even other dogs. Like they'll run up to him and like, hey, you want to play? They'll like do that play bow thing and like wag their tail, like, come on, bouncy bounce. And he'll just be like, fuck you.
I've got sandwiches to get to.
Is there any reason he might not play appropriately with toys and other people? Like
he's disinterested in that sort of silliness.
Developmental delay, you might say.
He's a 60-year-old dog. He wants to sit on the floor, and he wants
16, is he?
And dog ears.
Okay. And 16-year-old people like to play.
Good for him. They usually don't live that long.
Yeah, he's 8.5 over there. So no, he doesn't want to play.
Wait, I'm very confused. 8.5 and did you say 60?
60.
Oh, I'm hearing
dog
16.
Ears.
And I'm like,
dog ears.
I see.
Yeah, just having a bit of fun there. No, he quit. He stopped eating. At first, he would barely eat any dog food at all. He wouldn't eat the dry food, and I was like, maybe this dog doesn't eat dry food back at home. He's all stressed. Skinny.
Yeah,
I've never fed a dog wet food because that's like messy and there's cans and nobody wants to do that. But I was like, let's get him some wet dog food here. So I Instacarted like a variety pack, different brands too.
Wow.
Duck and chicken and steak and fucking filet mignon flavored with rice and all this nonsense. And he ate a can of it the first night. And then he didn't eat again for like 40 hours almost or something like that. He had not eaten And I'm like worried about him. I'm like, if he doesn't eat tonight, like I got to take him to the vet again. Like his fucker's dying on me. When they stop eating, that's a problem. And I've already emptied 2 cans on the plates that day of different flavors, and he said no to both of them. I mean, I get on the floor with this guy, and I like pretend like I'm eating it. I microwave it, get it warm, like he thinks it's people food.
Yeah,
now.
Get that scent all around the house.
Put it in a people plate. Yo, it's delicious. Actually, when you look at it, it's like I could eat this if we were hungry. It doesn't look that bad, and so he just won't fuck with it. And finally, like I look. And he has jumped on the counter and he's gotten the loaf of bread and he's put it on the floor and he's looking at me. And I'm like, what are you doing? Get out. You can't have my bread. And I'm like, wait, if you want some bread? And I'm like, get the bread. And I put the bread on his food and he won't eat it. I like tear the bread in little pieces and put it all over the food and he won't eat it. I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do here? And I take the spoon from the can and I take the dog food and I smear it all over the bread and I put it on the plate. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, buddy, I just don't know what to wait. Are you eating a dog sandwich right now? Oh no. The dog will only eat dog sandwiches now. And so I have been making him dog sandwiches for about a day and a half now for every meal. We get some bread out and I make him a nice
little
dog sandwich.
And that is all he will eat.
It's all he'll fucking eat.
What a nightmare this dog has been.
If you put bread and food on a plate, he won't. He's like, no. It's like I gave you 2 buns and a hamburger. You're like, I'm not paying for this. You didn't do your job.
Assemble it, bitch.
I want him to start turning his nose up and be like, cut the crust off, bitch. You get me one of those Batman cookie cutter shaped sandwiches or I'm out.
Yeah. Now Rocky's on keto bread. So custom.
It was good bread. It was some Hawaiian bread or something like that. So yeah.
Oh, everybody loves that.
But he's just a cocksucker. His earache is gone. With the antibiotics did the trick on that, and he's just being a cocksucker down there right now. Just laying there, just doing his thing. I have to get up. He's got the bladder of a child, so I have to get up in the middle of the night, make sure I take him out at night. So or he will pee on my fucking rug downstairs. I've got a steam cleaner. Now
costs more than the dog.
I've got a steam cleaner now. The dog was $25. We knocked out about 500 at the vet and about another 250, 300 getting that steam cleaner.
No, this is a terrible investment.
I'm going to pay a hobo $60 to strangle this son of a bitch, so I'm going to get a real fucking dog.
Just slowly start putting ground up glass in his sandwiches.
Oh, not the glass.
Like a mob movie.
He doesn't know his fucking name. Yeah,
did you give him his name or did he have it when he met you?
He can't. It said Rocky, but I'm not sure if that's what it said on his paperwork or if they were just like, "You look like a Rocky."
Yeah,
some of the places absolutely say that. They're like, when you show up here, don't ask for Bill because we don't know who the fuck that is. Ask for inmate 647R. These dogs are named by staff.
Oh yeah. They'll have like a lot of those pounds. They have like a social media person who's like, this is Alex. He likes fire trucks and peanuts. He likes to sleep in front of the TV. He likes looking at the TV when sports are on. He loves the Cardinal. And it's like,
if I were
just some
unemployed right
person
now,
sitting there making something
like I would make that job up right now. Like I would be the guy who goes from pound to pound, and I am the guy who puts together the package. I would make up a lot of lies, right? We need a packet of lies. We write the lies down. See, spoken lies are easy to see through. You write some lies down. Now we've got something. We write a lot of graphs, pie charts, and we show that when I go somewhere, my dogs get adopted at a way more higher frequency than regular dogs. And so, I go, I take the dog's pictures, make them looking happy, put them in a background. Cause I've been doing a lot of dog shopping. A lot of these dogs, they're like, they take their picture as soon as they catch them. Yeah. And they're in like a little dirty brick room where they weigh them. And he's just like, ah! And they're like, say the horror and snap. And so then you look at this dog online and it's like, ooh, I don't want that damaged one, where it's like, if we came in like the next week and like, love this guy up and like, you want a treat? Squeak, 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 and went snapped in. He'd be like a happy boy and maybe he'd find a home. Like That should be a job.
It's all about tricking people into adopting dangerous animals.
No, it's about putting their best foot forward. I mean, when you walk out of the house, you comb your fucking hair and wash your ass. Just give the dog the same courtesy.
Wait, you do both of those?
If I'm shit.
And not in that order.
Just making shit up.
Yeah. Well, I hope the dog thing gets solved soon.
Oh, he's fine. Look, I'll keep him for the rest of his life if I need to. I'll send him to a shelter if I can find one.
Which is like 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, for real. Like I was like, he could die tonight. Probably won't, but he could. It's
like your own second probation.
Yeah.
With an indeterminate end, but it could be any time.
Look, he's real like low effort. He's just a happy boy. He won't step on the wet grass outside to pee. So I have to he doesn't. He's got big floofy paws. They're like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a Malamute's paws. They're like these boots, and he's like, I don't want to get them wet. Nah. And I'm like, well, what if I like throw down a blanket out here like a 18th century gentleman? Then would you walk out? And he's like, I could do that. And so now I'm throwing a fucking blanket outside so that cocksucker will walk over it and go take a piss so I can get back inside in the bed because it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, you're just living out. If you give a husky a sandwich, soon you'll be laying down your coat for him to piss.
I mean, whatever he needs me to do for him, I guess. It was thundering earlier, and I had to wrap him up in a thunder blanket and keep him safe. So whatever he needs, I guess.
How are the other dogs and getting along still?
Yeah, I look after the girlfriend's dogs a lot, and as a group when they're together, as long as I keep food out of the equation, everything's good. But if I worry if there were some food on the ground because he has like growled and snarled at like 2 or 3 times when there was just kind of food about. And
he's food aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, if you've never dealt with dogs a lot, you'll be like, well, I don't understand. The food was on the table. And it's like, no, you don't. He thinks that like that spot right under your foot is like the seat right in front of the door, right? Like he's first in line to get food. So any other dog that even tries to get near him right now, if he thinks he's like next in line, they're trying to take future food right out of his mouth. We got to fight now to the death. Yeah. You're trying to take my food away? What if it's like prison rules for dogs, right?
Yeah.
What, I'm going to let the other dogs see you take food out of my mouth?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
And then the Pomeranian will be running this place.
I saw a pet owner the other day, and he had his husky and a German Shepherd had gotten into a tussle. And whenever dogs get in a fight, I stick my hand in their mouth immediately. I'm trying to save somebody usually because they're little dogs. And I know it's not the safest move. It's the only move. If you can get their mouth and then pull, like it'll stop. But if you half-ass it and they start ripping and tearing you, then this guy's hand looked like Frankenstein's with the stitches when they put him back together. The only thing I know to do is grab him by the mouth. Like I wouldn't do it with a pit bull because he'd tear my fingers off. But with like these dogs, I can do that. I did it the other day.
Small enough dog. How big? Your dog is big. Yeah. Rocky's a heavy dog. You said it was 70 pounds? About
65. We weighed him in the other day, and he's got a lot of growing to do. He's like skin and bones. That's why I'm giving him 2 pounds of wet food a day, 2 pounds of wet dog food sandwiches every day.
Bulk. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, he's bulking. I'm thinking about starting to fucking give him a little bit of juice. I don't know if human testosterone. See, here, bear with me here. I figure I give him a little testosterone, little L-carnitine for the joint,
of course.
And this he'll be going through like a second puberty. He'll be fucking because right now he doesn't bark. It's super lame.
Is he neutered?
Yeah.
Yeah, little T will make a big difference.
Yeah, big difference.
You want him to bark like around the house?
Yeah, I love that
to have
shit.
A more manly bark.
I like howling with dogs and stuff, and like getting them all crazy. I've got not like a really good sound system, but I got a sound bar and some subwoofers, and I put on Rabbit in Distress. Look that old banger up on YouTube, and I play that real loud, and then dogs all lose their shit. They're looking for the rabbit that's fucked. That's also, and then I'll play like Coyote Locator Call, which is just coyotes howling in a pack, and he'll go. Oh. That's it. No howling, no barking. He doesn't
the other
do
dogs
anything.
Are
the
reacting.
other dogs lose their fucking shit, just howling and barking and going crazy, losing it. And he just sits there. He couldn't care less. He's like, when are we going to have another sandwich? When is sandwich time?
When is sandwich time? It's probably when I throw another tantrum. So let's start that off. Yeah, well, good luck. It seems like you're handling it very well.
Fake, by the way. On the first topic, I looked into it. I looked around. There's a fake video of someone throwing it 100 yards, which to me implies that the ball is fake, like to build hype around. I think Amazon is playing a prank to get attention to the fact that they have the games now.
Cool. Well, they won.
Yes,
and it would be funny if they did that silly ball.
I like the ball. I was for it. Maybe I'm too.
I was for it too.
Accepting of change, like, or maybe it needs a change that needs to be made.
If a change is going to be made, they got to do it all at once.
What is? I can't read that on my screen.
30% farther. Top QBs can throw it 100 yards over 100.
How far can a QB throw a regular ball?
70.
Is that real good? Like 70?
I made it up, but it's something like that.
Far.
It sounds great. It sounds like a good total. If I threw a ball 70 yards, I'd be pretty stoked.
Zach, I feel like you know. Can you fact check me? Does 70 sound like a really far throw?
Can I take a guess? Can I take a guess and guess that a real QB, like a pro, can hurl that thing 100 fucking yards? I just think they can.
In practice, most NFL quarterbacks can throw the ball 70 to 80 yards. Okay, so I was close-ish.
I mean, again, I can't fucking throw one, but when I think of like the best of the best at anything, I just imagine them blowing me out of the water by like 5 or 6 fold.
Oh, trust me, 70 yards blows me out of the water just fine.
I could definitely throw it 30 yards though. Like I'm picturing 30 yards. I'm like, shit, I can throw anything that far, even if it's end over end. I can just hurl something that far.
Right.
I can throw rocks that far.
I can throw. What are the telephone poles called? Capers or something? In that sport, the Scottish throw them.
Those crazy hurling poles.
Is it CABER?
I think it's caber toss, something like that.
Yeah, I bet either of you could throw that thing 30 feet.
There's no way it would crush me. It'd fall back on me.
No, you get it to tip over and you get your distance.
Oh, I thought that was that big log that you have to throw in a way that it touches the other side. You know,
I think you should tone down your ambitions, young man.
Well, these are some big Scotsmen.
Maybe just get a half a rotation and have it flop the far away.
I'm like, I lifted it, kind of. And it's like, no.
Like, you just need to throw it well enough that it lands on the other side.
We were talking, like, you brought up, Woody, you're like, I'm not confident in my ability to throw a football. So, like, and it made me think, because throwing a football is one of those things that, like, if I were with a bunch of my guy friends and we were throwing a football around at a barbecue in someone's yard, that's something I'm not going to step in because I'm not good at it. And like, I've seen like myself throw before and I hate it. Like I didn't practice throwing footballs growing up, just never did it. And so I look bad. And that's like solidified in my head when I have people over to my house in my basement. I have the hockey area. And most of my friends played a lot of sports, athletic guys. But you take a guy who was like D1 college basketball athlete, and he's in my basement, a buddy of mine, and I'm like, let's shoot the pucks a little bit. You know, this is a year or two ago, drinking, having a good time. And I like see him pick up the stick in the most awkward, weird, like he looks like a fucking retard. What an idiot. Like, how could you even hold it that way? And while I was thinking that, I'm like, oh, this is what people think when you throw balls.
Yep.
Yes.
Like this, when they see you throw a ball, someone who's good at baseball is going, dude, Taylor's humiliating himself. Is the same way I feel when I'm like, dude, John, you got to stop shooting the ball like that. Your legs are locked. You're like going like this. Like you look like a goober, like you're one of those bubble hockey machine guys. But I do the same thing with swimming. There's two aspects of it. Like, so what'll happen is there'll be someone on a movie or TV show that's supposed to be a swimmer. And in one stroke, I can tell you if this guy ever swam for real. How's he look into the side? How far does his extension go? How far does his release go? Like in one stroke, I will tell you whether or not this guy is a shit swimmer. The other thing, it baffles me that they change the scenes. They'll go from like actual big surf to small surf close-up shots, and people don't notice this. People don't recognize the difference in ocean conditions. And I'm like, what? This is the fakest shit ever. Every Baywatch rescue ever was like shitty cameras in 18 inches of water combined with like Hawaii 5-0 insanity surf. And people didn't see it. When you know stuff. Like when you know anything about anything and you watch a movie that references it, like hockey's the only sport I know very well. Miracle on Ice, very famous hockey movie. Every hockey movie I've ever seen, I'm always watching the goalie because I played goalie. There's never in the history of cinema been a technically sound ice hockey goaltender for even 1 second. Every save starts with them so far out of position. Sometimes it's like, there's a 2-on-1 coming in against the Ducks. And it's like, okay, well, then the goalie has ample time to get squared up. And then it goes back and he's like talking to someone at the bench. And he's like, I gotta get back to the goal. And like every save is a jump and a dive. And people are, whoa, this is crazy. And I'm like,
good saves involve being upside down with your foot, catching the corner of the net. Like, I don't.
It's like in real world, part of being like good at any coach
like that is, part of being good at positions like that is positioning yourself so that you don't have to do those leaping grabs and stuff. Yeah. There's not a place for them. Like Derek Jeter was flying all over the place. That's because he was pushing the envelope of what he could do, even with his positioning, right? But he was catching the balls he shouldn't have caught. But still, like if you're positioned right, you should make it look easy. It should be,
I shot on an NHL goalie once. His name was Irbe. He played for the Hurricanes. Taylor might remember him, IRBE. And he made me look terrible. Every block barely involved him moving. He'd move like 4 inches. Yeah. And just like it, and I'm like, am I not picking off the corners? What's happening here? I like to score 5-hole a lot. I don't know. I always did well. That doesn't work against top goalies. The top goalies are like, you just passed it to me. What are you thinking?
Because the top goalies are like, oh, you shot for my 5-hole because I deliberately gave it to you and then closed it up. Like,
probably. I'm like, what is this 3D chess he's doing here?
You're like, oh my God, this guy, like some sort of professional goalie, is able to tell where I'm going to shoot it by the angle of my stick. like he gets paid millions for this. Like,
yeah. And I thought it was. I've talked to goalies, and they always. This probably isn't interesting for the podcast, but they're like, wrist shots are tricky. Slap shots, easy as can be. You know, assuming it's not deflected and stuff. But you shoot a slap shot from the blue line, even B-level goalies are stopping most of them.
Oh yeah, big old slap shots from the point. I loved that. It's like, oh, just tee me up. It's like there's nobody in front of me, which like someone who doesn't know anything about hockey might think like, oh, all that open space between you and the shooter for the shooter to pick their angle. It's like, no, that benefits me because I'm much faster than the puck is. Like, I don't have to cover as much space. If there were a bunch of traffic in front of me and he took a slap shot,
you're moving 6 inches and that puck is moving 30 feet.
Yeah, and so if I've got a clear sight to someone shooting, like any decent goalie is going to make that save. You know, most of the time, it's traffic in front and deflections that make it super hard because you can't anticipate a deflection.
And sometimes a goalie will give up a rebound.
Yeah, rebounds and deflections are the big thing. All right, sorry about hockey, everyone.
Yes.
Are you still playing Fallout? Are you still playing Fallout 4?
Yes, I'm playing Fallout 4. It made me think you were talking about dogs reacting to things. My Fozzie kept reacting to dog meat getting hurt in battles when he goes like,
yeah.
And like just my dog would be sleeping on the other couch and then that would happen and he just, what the fuck is going on? And then you go back to bed. 15 minutes later, dog meat's getting his ass handed to him by a bunch of super mutants and I'm sniping in the back and what were you saying about Fallout 4?
I was just gonna say, so. At first, I was looking at mods to maybe play Fallout 4 with you, but then I remember you're on that stupid console. But Fallout 76 is essentially Fallout with multiplayer. I mean, like I watched a review of Fallout 76 because it's been years since I played it. It was just so awful when it first came out that we all quit. So I wanted to see if they fixed it. And I guess they finally added the NPCs and a bunch of other stuff. And it's actually kind of worth playing now. But the guy giving the review had thousands of hours. And he's like, so why should you play it? You really shouldn't. I mean, just play Fallout 70. Please, like, just play Fallout 4 or Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, do that. There's a great mod for Fallout New Vegas now. You can go do that. But I mean, if you absolutely must, well, it's Fallout. I mean, kind of, this and that's not the same, and it's kind of this and that, but hey, your friends are there, right? So that's something.
Is that
such a lackluster review?
Is that a Fallout thing or is that a Fallout 4 thing?
It's a Fallout thing.
Awesome, because that's I think that's such a cool mechanic.
I don't know how that's incorporated into Fallout 76, multiplayer. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like, like how would one person slow down time to shoot their opponents if you're playing multiplayer? So I would imagine you can't slow it down, which is gonna really cramp my style because I'm bread and butter VATS over here. All my perks are about the VATS. All my perks are about getting the action points back as fast as possible.
I think you've also got to play on PC too.
I'll play on PC for 76. Like I was planning to download it, buy it on this.
We could get a whole group of people together. I don't think there is a party size. It's like a big open world game. So I don't see any reason why I couldn't get I know Mitty and a few other guys have it because we all got it. We just despised it right away and give up on it. Fallout's about the world and the story, and the gameplay comes third. And this game was just lacking in all three, really. Just real bad game.
They didn't have NPCs?
There are no NPCs. They thought that this thing would be so populated that, I don't know, I was going to be Farmer John or something, and I was going to be like, yeah, I need some rutabagas. Go over to the old mill and get me some. I'll give you some coin.
I'm the rutabaga man. Yeah. I only play to harvest rutabagas to be robbed by bandits.
They're insane if they thought that was actually going to happen. I don't know what they legitimately thought, but they just did. Fallout's all about the NPCs. The NPCs tell you the story, and Fallout has great stories. There's a whole storyline in New Vegas about these guys who sell children to this drug gang, and how they want girls. They like the girl slaves, but he all he had was a boy. So one of the fiends named Cook just burnt the young boy alive with his flamethrower for fun. And it's these are the stories you're dealing with in New Vegas. And then you get to Fallout 4 and it's Timmy's lost down the old well. Ha ha. Look, Lassie's skeleton's there. Okay, I get that reference. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then Fallout 76 comes on. It's fuck the NPCs. We've got ghouls again. Remember ghouls?
Remember
Rat Scorpions too?
No, I really like the game. I think it's a cool world, but you couldn't have articulated it better when you said that they didn't understand their own world, for Fallout 4, because it's and I noticed it before you said it, but you really solidified it that it's been 200 years and there's skeletons with clothes on them sitting in the middle of a bakery that's selling goods, and it's this is a part of a shift's work, much less 2 centuries of time.
Yeah.
And I hate the fact I found
the squirrels would have gotten to them after 2 centuries.
Exactly. They would have decomposed. That cloth would have been gone. Something I really dislike. I found the railroad people and they're meet us in this church, our home base. And it's whatever, and then I go and I meet them there, but they're not in the church. They're in some weird catacomb under the church. And it's guys, it's been hundreds of years. Reclaim the church. Just take the church. You already are in the basement. There's nothing up there. It's just a bunch of broken pews and things.
They're hiding out. They're a secret organization. From the Institute. If you play the main story, you know.
I am playing the main story. I went to I found Virgil and the glowing
then
sea.
You know why they're in the basement then, Taylor? Because if the Institute finds them, they're going to wipe them out. And that's exactly what happens in the end of the game.
Oh, not if I side with the Institute.
Exactly.
Actually, if I side with whatever side I side with, everyone's getting wiped out. Because you're going to kill everyone on the other team because you get XP per kill. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, not only are you physically gonna kill them all, but their building will be destroyed, and they'll actually die. It'll be part of the story. There'll be an in-game event where you take them out.
Good, because I got the ballistic mesh mod from the guy in the basement, and so now I'm good. I don't need those fucking railroad douchebags anymore.
So who are you gonna side with?
I don't want to look up anything online, but I want to pick the side I predict has the best loot for me or the best reward. And the Brotherhood of Steel has the coolest armaments and stuff. So no matter what, I'm sticking with them. And also the main guy, isn't that what's the actor's name? The huge actor. Is the voice actor fucking someone really famous?
I don't recall. Could be Liam Neeson. I know he was in one of the games, but I think that was 3. Yeah, I know with the Brotherhood,
they're the cool one.
With the Brotherhood of Steel, I think you end up I don't know if you have to side with them for the whole game, but you end up creating the Liberty Prime, which is like 100-foot tall death robot that's walking around, and he's like, democracy is non-negotiable, and then he grabs a nuke off his backpack and hurls it like a big football at stuff. He's badass. It's real.
Damn, I picked the right team. That's a good team. Fun.
No, Fallout 4's got a lot of shit to do. I've played I don't know how many thousands of hours. It's hard to say because I've done
it's like something. I mean, I said this when I talked about it. I still am like not that deep into the games given the amount of content, but I was like, oh, compared to Skyrim, there's way fewer fucked up quests. No, I was wrong. There's just as many, and in some ways, it's literally worse than what I've experienced in Skyrim. Like, I've multiple times had to quit quests and like go back in saves because NPCs won't do what they're supposed to do. Like, it'll be a guy who's supposed to unlock a terminal for you, and you talk to him, and he's like, we get out of here, you're a member of the railroad forever. And I'm like, open the fucking terminal. And so I had to go back like an hour and a half in gameplay to restart it. Before I did though, I killed him over and over. And then I had to do that retarded ass quest all over again, talk to the same idiots. Like the fact that what you say doesn't mean very much takes me out of it. Like, I would like it if there was more impactfulness to my statements.
New Vegas is so much better as far as in that regard.
Really? So charisma is important in that one.
Look, if I'm telling people their first Fallout, it's always New Vegas because it's the best game. Like, by far. It's not even close. It's not even close. The Fallout 4 is so dumbed down, and Fallout 3 didn't have its shit together yet. So New Vegas is by far the better game. We played some code names in the last hangout the other day.
Dude,
had a good time.
I really enjoyed that. The hangout was great. I was going to talk about this on PKA too, but I don't know. Sometimes at the end of the hangout, I'm like, whew, it's good to be out. This time it was really fun. I had a fun time all the way from beginning to end. It was a cool hangout.
Yeah, we played another game of code names.
I feel like I won, even though I'm not even sure if I did.
That's all.
It was a good time. It's a fun. Taylor,
you and I were on different teams. Which of our teams got more wins? Do you remember?
I don't know.
We
were on different teams the whole time.
I think, yeah.
Sounds like.
To be honest, I wasn't paying that much attention to the teams.
Everybody felt like winners. That's all that mattered.
Because you and I kind of turned out to be team leaders. Like, it just sort of organized everyone's thoughts and said final answer the most.
Yeah, we needed that little organization. We had that difficult final answer locked in debacle in the beginning. That debate where we're like, all right, we're not saying locked in anymore. Final answer is the term. It's like, all right, well,
I remember, I think Kyle was the person dragging the answer, and someone used locked in immediately, and I was like, all right, that turned out okay, but let's not use locked in anymore. Kyle's like, I'm glad you said that because I was making a point.
I don't have as much experience. That was like the first time I played for real as Kyle, and we were both the clue givers going head to head. And it got to the end, neck and neck, and I remember I had casino and file, and you had code, and I was like, am I a retard? I can't think of a clue that they'll guess casino and file, but not code. Because if I put anything about finance code flows much more than file code. And, the finance would grab the casino, but it wouldn't. And I was like, damn, like, am I just not thinking? And then Kyle's like, yeah, you're fucked, man. Like, there's no way with these words. I'm like, okay, well, at least this is a good one to lose on.
The fact that code is on the board. It's the fact that code is there as my word that he has to avoid. If he gives me code, then he loses. So he has to say file but not code. He has to get you to choose file over code while at the same time including the word casino. Very difficult thing to do.
Anything to do with finance.
What I would recommend you do is start thinking of file not as a file in a filing cabinet, but as a metal file. And try to go that way because
I tried. I couldn't think of a casino tie-in.
That was the first thing I went to, and I don't have it.
It's hard. I started thinking. Here's what I did. I started thinking about the casinos have locks to secure the money. Maybe use a file to get out of your locks. Code. It's like code lock. There's no, you're fucked again. And they do that on purpose with the words they choose. It makes you. It makes you really struggle and go through these leaps and bounds, and the familiarity you have with your team can really come into play, and it's a lot of fun. And it can be frustrating.
I don't have a good answer either. It's really mine was Office. And I'm like, all right, so office will nail file. Are people more likely to choose casino or code as the second one? And coding happens in an office. And,
yeah, it's fun. Great. It's a fun word game, word association game, and I love games like that. So I hope people want to play in the hangout tonight too, because that was fun.
Me too. Yeah.
I want to hear more of Kyle on the guessing side instead of the clue giving side.
I'm trying so hard right now to like put this file and casino thing together.
I thought about it a good bit during the game, and I'm like, this is so difficult because all my ideas, they would have given you code. Or, I wasn't confident that the people guessing would know what I meant.
Now I'm cheating. Like my code word is filesino.
Oh yeah. Oh, so we used to play for money. So you know.
Oh God.
So when you play for money, obviously you don't have something.
It would cause so many problems.
Yeah. Well, we have rules, and what we did, we had teams, and I think it's 2-man teams. We don't have this big group on everybody like, I don't know, maybe it's this or that. When you have a team, it's like this final answer, that final, like it's definitive. Right. People playing for money. There's no goofiness going on. We know what we're doing, and it got to the point where we needed a judge's ruling whether a clue was good or not. And I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but the selected judge was wishy-washy, and she was like, okay, the clue is good. And they were like, the clue is good. The game is over. $100 to these guys. Yeah. And Dirty's just like, this is such horse shit. Got fucking robbed. And it was. Like we all agree. It was bullshit. But you got to have a judge, and you got to go by what they say at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, what did he think was going to happen? Did he think he was going to?
I call it the game of games because I was shocked.
Games.
Our game was very friendly, and that's totally out of the norm. I've never been in a game that was anywhere near that friendly. There is usually tons of angry
yelling. To be an asshole, Kyle.
No, the angry yelling will be over whether the clue you gave is even a fucking legit clue. No bullshit. You should forfeit for fucking giving that clue. That writing that it just ruins the game. You forfeit. And that would be the argument sometimes.
So, for example, it'd be a fake word? Like what kind of thing would
maybe
get someone...
a phrase from a play or something like that, like a famous line. And because you're using the string of words, now it's easier. Like something silly like that.
One word, the clue.
Well, it could be more than one words. Like Sheriff of Nottingham is fine because you're talking about that one guy. But like you wouldn't want to do like a rose by any other name. Like you can't use that as a fucking
phrase.
Yeah, you can't use like a phrase like that. We're talking about a person, a place, or a thing. We could say NASA. I don't even know if you could say NASA headquarters. That would be a ruling on the field, right?
I had a bunch of like proper
if you knew what
nouns.
The name for that place was, you could use it. You could say, but you have to be careful with what you can and can't use, and if people can talk. This might be getting a little bit of boring, but for the people listening, but it's a really fucking fun game. Code names. I doubt there's any good videos on the internet for it because it takes personality to make the game fun. Like I said, normally when we play, it's real mean.
Make some content.
It's real mean and shitty.
We haven't talked about it yet, but Kamaru Usman had a fight.
Dude, knock the fuck out! Look. Here's the thing about the UFC right now. I've got a whole thing here. So this is great. The undefeated, undisputed, pound for pound champion on the verge of breaking the record for most consecutive title defenses held by Anderson Silva, held by many as the GOAT.
And notable, 16 wins in a row.
Is stopped fucking short with 2 minutes to go in a fight in which he is way ahead on the scorecards. All he has to do is like not get knocked the fuck out, and he gets kicked in the face, knocked by the fuck out by the British guy, Leon Edwards. And making him champion now means what the fuck do we do? Because there's so many moving pieces, right? Everybody wants that belt. Fucking Jorge Masvidal has beef with him before. He wants to get in there and get after that belt. He could. Colby Covington, of course, he wants to get in there. He could snatch that belt away from Leon. Of course, Usman wants it too. Nobody's talking about Conor McGregor. Why is he not screaming for the belt right now?
Out, who's the guy with the Chimaf Kamayas? I'm getting close. I know it's not right. He was the guy, the number one contender.
Well, he. Too fucking bad. He's got a fight scheduled in a week and a half or something like that. He's fighting Nate Diaz.
Oh, you're right. But that was supposed to. Okay.
That's
a slam dunk against Nate Diaz. But
we'll see.
He was supposed. True. He was supposed to be next in line. He was supposed to slam dunk against Nate Diaz and go next. And now
Nate did to Leon?
Yes. Nate hit his fists repeatedly with his nose until the last 30 seconds of the match.
It didn't look that bad. It was. I thought he was
only
good
remember the end.
I mean, he took a beating.
But yes,
okay.
Nate got tuned up for 4.5 rounds and then turned it on and looked good at the end. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, what would have happened if there were 6?" I don't know. Why'd you wait for 4.5?
That's interesting to me. That what I don't understand why no one is saying that Conor McGregor could slip in here and take the most undeserved shot at the 170-pound title of all time. He could step in here and say, "That's right. I want to be the champion." And Dana said, "Okay, sure, that'd be kind of funny."
You know who else would say yes? Leon Edwards. He's like, "I would love to have this payday. I would love to have an easy fight."
Leon probably thinks he can beat Conor easily, and
I think he can. I don't know. 2022 Conor's not that impressive.
I don't know. He's huge. I don't know what big Conor is like at 170. He's big Conor now. He's a totally different fighter than the guy who
never seen him
KO'd
fight.
Aldo. He's a totally different physical specimen. So no, I'd love to see that, him coming in and like cutting the fucking line around all of those 170 pounders.
Kyle, I'm gonna put this as one of your skills. I have seen you say like, "Oh, this was a great movie," and I get that it won 3 Oscars, but here's what I would have done. I'm like, that's better. That's better. You know, I've told you many times, like, you'll describe a TV show and I'll be like, I gotta see it. And it's like, Kyle's version was better. I liked it more. I think UFC Matchmaker is one of your skill sets. It would be fun to watch you put WWE storylines together in the UFC.
I don't know why they don't. So right now when they pick a fight, it's all this behind the closed doors. Dana's got his marker board kind of stuff. I would like to see a press conference with the guys, the 170 pounders. Bring Gilbert Burns out there, bring Khamzat out there, bring Nate Diaz out there too, bring Conor McGregor out there at the last minute though. And Usman's there, Leon's there with the belt, and let them all talk. Like we're gonna decide tonight.
Make a pitch. I would like to see that. I would like to see like Nate Diaz be like, "Look, I'll fight this guy for $5 million," and Conor be like, "I'll do it for 15."
Dana's got to be in charge.
The fighters.
He's got to have the marker board up there with blank spots on it. He's like, this is Leon. He's up here fighting for he's your champ. So we got to figure out who's going to fight him. But not only that, who's going to fight each other to decide who's going to fight the winner of that guy. And we're going to do this all the same night. UFC, whatever it is, 350 or whatever. Dude, I don't know where we are anymore.
I would love to watch that show.
And somebody's left out. And somebody's left out, right?
I'd like to see a guy like Gilbert Burns, maybe. If I have his name right. Be like, look, I get that I'm on a 1-fight winning streak. I might be right about that. But I was the former number 2 guy, and I will take that same fight Jorge Masvidal does, but I'll do it cheap. What do you think of me slipping in that spot? You know, people don't know.
What if you took those stars? What if you took that division in particular with 170 pounders and you made that the Ultimate Fighter for a season? What if you made those fucking hoity-toity like 10 millionaires all go stay in that shitty fucking house with no cable, and you got Jorge Masvidal under the same roof as Colby Covington, and there's a sheriff's deputy at all times watching.
What's he gonna do?
Like, dude, that would be
you better have a stun gun.
That would that be like a legitimately watched show, like outside of the little sphere of MMA and like nonsense? If you had Conor McGregor on a reality show,
yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it'd be very expensive. You know how much Conor McGregor would charge to get his like half a billionaire
fighter like
into
4 or 5 years ago. You know, I mean, that's pre-Floyd Mayweather stuff, but
proper 12, he did it.
Fair. That's all. Yeah, he's 100 millionaire now. I guess he doesn't want to do shit like that. God, it's just a fan's dream.
Did you see his Instagram video?
Stuff. No.
All right, Conor McGregor is on a yacht, clearly just a little offshore, getting his dick sucked. And you see the woman's head bobbing. And I was like, at first I didn't realize it was D, his fiance, maybe wife, but I think fiance. And now I'm pretty sure he had put up a Instagram video of his fiance sucking his dick on a boat. And here it is. Conor McGregor's wife enjoying the notorious eggplant shamrock.
Well, hang on, I'm watching. I haven't.
You haven't seen her ponytail pop up yet?
Well, it seems like she's just relaxing in the sun there in his lap.
Keep watching.
I think you're inferring a lot here.
I saw his hand on the back of her head.
Well, yeah, he's supporting her neck.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I think she's giving him head.
I don't buy it.
Yeah, he's definitely got his hand on the back of her head.
No, he's got a fight coming up. He wouldn't do that.
He's
got a fight coming up. He wouldn't do
that. I don't know why I remembered him with his like sort of in this position with like his hands up chilling, but it's not in this video. So
not at all.
What a bizarre thing to post.
It might be in the
may have
Instagram
been an accident
version.
or a joke.
Oh, I've gotten head. Stop saying I haven't. getting bullied by people online.
Yeah,
than you.
I don't mind the move. Go ahead. It's just a new kind of flex. Look at me on a yacht getting head. And I want to say the Instagram post had text something similar to, if you're gonna do this on a yacht, get it done in the sun or something like that.
Gross.
Whatever. Maybe Zach can find that.
That's a real weak flex.
I find that untoward.
Yeah. I
think not on your team.
Whenever I see somebody in a private plane, that one seems like a real weak flex too, because you always see those like photo booths that make it look like you're in a private plane. Have you seen those?
No.
You sit in this bullshit, and now you're like in the cabin of a private plane, like one of those little small ones where like a Learjet or something, and then you stand up and you walk away, like it's just a fucking set.
I didn't know that.
Ridiculous. I want a picture in one.
I've been bamboozled all this time.
Most of the time, I would say, unless you're Taylor Swift's fucking fan. She's like, oh, you want to come see me? I'll send the jet. Taylor Swift sounds so fucking cool. She was getting shit because her plane had done so many miles this year. It was like a huge amount. She burnt like 175,000 gallons of fuel or something.
It was ridiculous.
But then, is it though? How many gallons of fuel is a normal flight? How many gallons of fuel is it okay for someone to use in their private jet? Oh, well, you're just so lame, Connor. This is a weak flex. You don't look good either.
He's not wearing any pants. I told you this was the pose I remembered him in. I think the Instagram version of it had it or something. But he's clearly getting his dick sucked in a pretty nice locale.
Yeah.
Like fans have reacted in shock after a video appeared to show him enjoying
I can't believe he and his fiance are sexually active before marriage. I, for one, am grabbing my pearls.
I'm just not sure
chest
why.
tattoo sucks.
Oh, my stars and garters.
I'm just not sure why I got brought in on it. It's every now and then the hangout.
I don't. What am I missing?
I mean, I'm as an internet person having to view it through the photons in my eyes. Now I've been brought into his sex life in a way. I've had to see that.
And you don't want to
with
be.
that. Yeah,
I'm not.
I have no problem seeing dick sucking.
I mean, if he's gonna show it, fucking go.
And
go all out, show it.
I can't get my head past. I'd prefer it the other way. Like, so I watch videos.
It's not funny.
Of dicks getting sucked, and you watch videos of people sucking dick. We can both work in the same videos here.
See, but I need it to either be. I need it to either be hot or funny, and that's neither. See, when that lady in the hangout just like strips down naked and starts like banging herself with a toy, and Taylor gets all awkward. That's funny, but
it is uncomfortable.
But
I'm fine with it.
But Conor McGregor like showing like dick root and like getting some sort of weird head from his fiance on a boat somewhere. I don't know which part am I impressed by? That he's capable of like being on a boat, or that someone will suck his dick. I don't know. I can make any of that happen. Like, if you're gonna flex on Instagram, you would think you'd do something. Yeah, they can.
He's on a yacht.
You can rent that thing for $1,500 or something. That's like a vacation
that sounds
trip.
Low. I bet there's $1,500 in fuel.
Yeah, he's probably fibbing.
Where are we? I don't need to go anywhere. I'd like to take a quick Instagram video of my girlfriend sucking my dick. You think you could let me hop on your yacht and drive me over there? I'll give you $1,500. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't.
I'm sure that's what Connor did.
He might have. What if not Conor McGregor, because he's actually rich? See, that's what makes it worse. Because someone like him should be flexing so much harder, like something so much less attainable.
Getting your dick sucked on a yacht in what might be the Mediterranean is a pretty.
I don't know where that is. That could be off. That could be fucking Jersey. I don't know where that is.
Warm.
I mean, anyone can get their dick sucked.
Florida. Oh my. You know what I'm saying?
Most guys get their dick sucked.
He's flexing a $10,000 luxury when he's $100 millionaire.
Yeah.
And it's like white trash of him. It's like new money white trash flex is what it looks like.
It's like me flexing a double cheeseburger.
Yeah. We're all like, yeah, dude. we can afford all the food we want as well.
I hear you.
It's kind of a problem for society, actually.
There's a trashy subreddit. I forget what it's called. It might just be called Trashy. And I see people having like sex in public or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not saying it's not trashy, but you guys are all acting like it's uncool. Maybe I'm a little trashy.
People doing things like that in public, how cool it is directly proportional to, or inversely proportional to how overweight they are. If they are overweight, it is not cool to fuck in public. If you're like jacked, it's pretty
trashy
cool.
Boners. Okay.
Like, you know, that like famous picture of like the Vancouver Canucks knocked out of the playoffs, and so there were riots in like 2011 all around Vancouver, and there's that famous picture of the guy and the girl like making out in the middle of the road.
Yeah. But they're good looking.
Very famous picture. That if they were two ham planets in the middle of the road in Vancouver, that would not have taken off. No one would have been like, oh my goodness, amid all the ridiculous Canadian hockey rioting, an attractive picture. But because they're thin and they look good, it's an iconic photo. The same thing applies to public sex.
Can you
just
find
can't have
this photo, Zach? What was it? The Vancouver Canucks?
Yeah, it was in Vancouver. I think it was after they got eliminated in like 2011, I want to say. I can see the picture in my head, but I
just
can't.
Realizing this.
Conor McGregor should be somewhere that you can't go, with people that you can't meet, doing a thing that you can't do. It's so lame. I'm still on the boat thing. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I agree. I don't think it's a very cool flexy, especially like getting your dick.
I also
sucked
can't tell
as
how
a
nice
flex.
that boat is. Like for all I know, that's like I don't know, $150,000 boat, which in the world of boats is like, look, go down to Florida, walk out on any fucking boat slip. The $150,000 one is the little one. You know what I mean? Like it's not impressive. Anything about that picture?
Looking. No, that's not it, Zach. Mine is though.
It just goes to show, if you're attractive, if you're good looking, people will be cool with it. If you're a big fat person, people are not cool with it.
So that's it. If you could zoom in a little bit, that's the picture. And like Taylor said, you know, if they weren't attractive, people would have a very different ham planets. That wouldn't be an iconic photo.
No,
I don't know.
People would be laughing
if they were 69ing and then the ham planets began to roll together like that at the end of Critters 2. I'd be down with something like that. You know, when all the critters formed the mega critter ball.
Oh yeah,
I'm in.
A reference I definitely get.
You guys know critters, right?
Well, I haven't seen the first one.
Zach, show me a critter ball when all the critters form together into the mega critter.
The amalgam of critters.
Amalgam of critters. It's just mouths and.
Is it like Gremlins? Which I did like.
No.
Gremlins.
Gremlins are each Gremlin's different, right? You got like 30 critters are all the same, and there's these little furry mouths like and they came from space. They escaped a prison barge, hijacked a little spaceship, and they came here. And some bounty hunters. Yeah, there it is. Perfect. That's the prop. Yeah. I saw that when I was 4 years old, and I never forgot. I swear to God. I remember being in the downstairs room where my Mario was hooked up to Nintendo next to the fucking waterbed, watching this shit on that little color TV, and being like, holy fuck, it was after dark. That's all I remember. And it was I had the feeling that it was like a weekend because like everybody was there watching TV. Yeah, I was 4, and I remember that ball.
Scarred you. Or it made an impression on you.
1990.
I don't think I've seen the Critters
franchise. Not a.
No, I don't know.
There's 5 of them.
There's a lot of them. In the first movie, there's this like side character who's a bit of a buffoon in the town where the critters invade, and I guess the fans liked him, so they kept bringing him back. In every Critters movie, he's in it. By the 5th one, he's in space, and I think he's the bad guy. Like it's come full circle. Yeah, that's cool. The big ball of critters. What a nightmare.
Well, I'll check out Critters then.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna watch it.
Don't actually
Realistically,
watch it.
I'll probably spend that time. I'll download Fallout 76 on my PC.
You gonna play that one?
Yeah, just to have it.
That's the one we could play together.
Is it like a full price game? If it's like, yeah, I'd be interested in playing together. That'd be fun.
I haven't looked. I own it. I
wish I could play on console. I just like playing games with the controller. I like
so
it.
much better on PC, dude.
Yeah, but I'm not a gamer.
I was about to call you not a gamer as an insult. I expect you to jump into it.
No, Jesus. I'm not.
You disarmed me.
I've disarmed you. I've agreed and amplified before you even got it out.
Yeah, this is like when girls claim to be gamers because they use iPhone games. It's like, you're not a gamer, but you jumped in there.
I think we might have a nice season of games coming. So avoid Battlefield.
Vermintide.
Everything I've seen about Battlefield is
it still called Vermintide?
It's called Dark Tide.
Dark Tide. It's called Vermintide Dark Tide. Yeah.
So last time I checked, as of 6 days ago, Dark Tide was coming out in like 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
That's the last time I checked. It could have updated and gotten pushed till November or something, but I don't know. Call of Duty this year looks really, really good. And like just the look of it, how the graphics look, it improves every year. But this year looks really good to me. Yeah. And it's got Blackout 2, which is their battle royale. I really enjoyed Blackout 1. We played a ton of it.
He's saying it's Modern Warfare 2 again.
Yeah. Well, last game was Modern Warfare 1. I implied that it wasn't the name, that they were redoing the maps and everything, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Oh.
He says Warzone 2, not Blackout. I'm actually a little.
Oh, is that what they call it? Is Warzone Battle Royale though? It's a reimagining. I didn't think it was a remaster at all. But they have a battle royale mode, right? Yeah. Okay. I don't care what they call it. Okay.
So is it a remaster?
No, reimagining. It's a new fucking game, ground up.
Okay. Well, then I'm just off target.
That was my understanding of it. Because I don't know how they're gonna like just do a copy of MW2 and like release that this year for their.
Didn't they already do that? Didn't they release Modern Warfare 2 as like a DLC, as like a bonus for something else?
It was like a cherry on top, though.
Right. No, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying they wouldn't what do they call it? Refactor, reimagine, they wouldn't like remaster. Thank you. That is what they call it. They wouldn't remaster the same game twice, right?
I don't think so. In any case, I'll be playing the battle royale mode of that. That's what I'll be interested in. I like that shit a lot. And then Dark Tide, of course. And there was another one. Oh, Sons of the Forest. Or it's either Son of the Forest or Sons of the Forest. I don't know which. But that's the long-awaited sequel to The Forest, the horror co-op survival game where you're trying to rescue your son, and there's cannibals and monsters and mutants, and you've got spears and bows and arrows, and you're spelunking a lot through caves. It's a very scary game, very fun. Really been looking forward to the sequel to that. That's coming out sometime this fall as well. The only thing I'm not going to play, I think, is Battlefield. I saw there was like a non-binary like character or something like that, and they're like, oh, okay, that sounds fun.
That couple, Taylor, actually, they're still together. I want to show this picture before we end the show because we're about to wrap.
As of 22, they're together?
Well, as of 21. So I'm just going with it.
So 10 years.
Yeah.
If it was 2011.
Yeah. This is them now, and they're still a couple. And apparently she was like freaking out and like not dealing with the stress of being in a riot, and that's why he was kissing her to like calm her down. So that's the backstory. I thought it was cool that they were still together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I know we had the hangouts. We got to eat dinner. You guys want to call it?
Yes.